Hello, my name is Bernard, and I'm from Mangoplate. Let me tell you a fact. Everyone is different. People like different movies. Some like action movies, some like horror, and some like comedy. And people have different taste in music. Food is no different. People like different cuisines and have different favorite restaurants. However, when we try to find restaurants using existing services, we end up with these services. Directory driven services, which gives us exactly the same results for every different one. Let me show you an example. Using Yelp, we searched for restaurants in Cupertino, and we got the same result. But me, Bernard, I love Mexican food, but I don't really care about ramen places. And my friend Danny, he's the king of the dessert places, but he doesn't care about steak places. But as you can see, both of us got the exactly same result from top to bottom, even including advertisement. This means the service doesn't take into account our past experiences, which also means our current experiences will not influence the future search results. Now let's see how Mangoplate does differently. If you use Mangoplate, you will see these search results. Personalized list of restaurants based on your personal experiences. Now let's go through an example again. As I mentioned, I love Mexican food. That's why on my search results, Hacienda, which is wonderful Mexican food place, is on there. And for Danny, there's a Coffee Chew, which is a fantastic dessert place on top of his list. Listing these personalized list of restaurants may seem very simple. However, complex algorithms are running on the background. We can talk about this all day long. The cows come home. But for the sake of time, I'm going to explain three main information that is fed into the recommendation algorithm. First, user profile. It contains all the information about users, their activities, favorite cuisines, frequently visited places. Also, the social graphs between users. The second is venue profile. It keeps track of all the data about restaurants, their cuisines, addresses, and parking information. Also, the relationships between restaurants. Lastly, external data. It houses all the information such as weather and other social network services. Since our official launch last year, October, we have about 80,000 downloads with more than 30,000 monthly active users. Also, we have more than 30,000 reviews and 110,000 pictures. Not to mention that we have nearly 200,000 restaurants and numbers are growing. Now you may be wondering how Mangoplate is going to build business model upon all of this. Although we are primarily focused on acquiring users right now, we always keep our eyes on building business revenue base, which is hyper-targeted marketing. Specifically, Mangoplate will help local businesses to target their consumers based on their intention, location, and content. Let's go through an example to illustrate how it works. Let's say there's an Italian restaurant in Cheongdam-dong. Again, Italian restaurant in Cheongdam-dong. And it's a raining Wednesday, so the owner of the restaurant noticed that the business will slower at night, and he decided to create a real-time game using Mangoplate. Says free appetizer for every table with 3 or more people. Using the same recommendation algorithm, Mangoplate will target and send push notifications to the consumers, those who mark the restaurant as wanna go. Now, think about this. You always said that you wanted to go to the restaurant, and the restaurant is offer you a free appetizer. How awesome it is! And those who are nearby Cheongdam-dong and like Italian cuisines, also those who search for Italian restaurant and often goes to Cheongdam-dong according to their profile. For services and marketing platform, we start with restaurants, but it's not the end. Again, it's not the end of the Mangoplate. Our vision is to expand other local services such as beauty and medical. Also, our vision is to expand beyond Korea. Now let me introduce my team. Bernard is me again. I am responsible for client side, and my friend Danny is responsible for server side, and Michael is responsible for data and operations. Thank you for your time, and we're looking at thank you again, and 다음은 Mangoplate. Thank you. 감사합니다.
Thank you. Joseph?
I guess this is a tried and true vertical in terms of recommendation. What I have actually seen from experience is you have to be really careful about what you recommend, even if it's at a restaurant level. And I would like to ask you, does your algorithm also take into account the person's dietary needs, health needs, allergies, related to, for example, would you recommend a person who has historical cases of anaphylactic shock based on seafood? Would you ask them to go to 보노보노스 and 역삼역?
For now, we are only considering the information that are input from the users. So right now, the main information that we get from users is like either the user said, "I want to go to the restaurant," or I have been there and I recommend or do not recommend or it's okay. So those are the primary information for now. But as you mentioned, those other information such as their allergies or those some health issues are critical for recommendation, true right recommendation for users. So in the future, we are planning to get those informations as well to get the input from the user. But for now, we are only considering the information that I mentioned on the presentation.
I'm extending this argument because Yelp can do this function, but they have specific reasons and they see specific pitfalls. That's why one of the reasons why they actually won't push aggressively for these kinds of functions, because liability at scale is quite possibly the biggest risk in the marketplace.
So,
comments? Sorry.
Okay.
Well, thanks for your presentation. I really, from customers' point of, from users' point of view, I really want to see this take off. There's no such service like Yelp in US or Tabello in Japan. So I want to see one thing like this be successful. I actually want to hear out more of your opinion on the neutrality issue. You know, your business model could potentially conflict with the integrity of the information that you provide to your users. So.
What we actually recommend is based on their users' behavior or users' information, and we use the recommendation algorithm to provide the right restaurant for the users. Also, we use the same recommendation algorithm to provide right advertisement for the users as well. I mean, for now, recommendations, people treat the advertisement as kind of spam, so they try to avoid them. But we will make the advertisement as one kind of a content for the users.
Okay, we have one more question.
So enjoyed the presentation.
Thank you.
Theoretically, it makes sense, but I actually think when you think about it, it may not necessarily make sense. Because if I enjoy Mexican food, that doesn't mean I want Mexican food every time I search for a restaurant. So I actually worry that by using your algorithm and recommending a specific restaurant based upon prior behavior is actually going to be anti-productive. Because what I'm more interested in is trying variety. So if I tried a Mexican restaurant and I searched for that last week, this week I might want to try Italian. So I don't know if this actually is going to work, because I think many users, including myself, are looking for variety. And so the reason that Yelp works so well, it has a discovery feature. So based upon the location, it'll give me the ratings of the various different cuisines available, and I get to choose again from that side, rather than going to a specific category. Because if I was interested in only a specific category, a lot of these recommendation engines could actually ask for what I prefer. If I only like Mexican, if I only like Italian, they'll only show that, and there's a way to filter that search to begin with. But the problem is, if you actually just recommend based upon prior search behavior, then I'm not sure if that's something that I want.
We explain our algorithm in a very simple way, because to make sense. And as you mentioned, the people want variety, and that intention will include in their personal experiences. So if you want variety, then our input will be very various. So that input is inflected in your personalized recommendation list. So your list will not be just Mexican or Italian. There are various kinds of restaurants that you enjoy. And another thing is that, I think,
I want to ask some comments.
Can I just respond to that?
Yeah.
So here's the problem. For a lot of consumer apps, if before you get a chance to figure out I want variety, I'm not going to use your service. But because it continues to recommend Mexican food in the second and third search, then I'm going to stop using it. You won't have time to learn my behavior pattern.
Yeah, so basically, if user does not have any activities, it's based on the popularity. We recommend based on the popularity. But when users keep using these applications, it's more personalized, and we have combining like 3 different types of big algorithms, which means as you mentioned, the Mexican the profiling is based on context-based algorithm, but we also combining collaborative filtering, you may see in Amazon. So we combining all of the variables and then optimize the priority among those variables to help users.
let me add one more thing. As you said, there's a cold start problem. If you come into the app and you haven't inserted any information, then there's nothing to recommend. So we have prepared many curated lists for the Korean users. So we are generating 1 or 2 curated lists in a week, so that when even the first users comes into our service, they can enjoy variety list of the services, and the restaurants are really famous, either very unique places to enjoy.
Okay, the time is up.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.